Hey guys, Jason with Minnesota News Now out here. I'm out here in Coon Rapids. Just wrapped up the press interview. I'm going to attach that to the end of this. According to Police Chief of Coon Rapids, Brad Wise, he was out talking about there was multiple attempts with beanbag guns. There's 2 officers on standard administrative leave because of the standard practice. BCA is now taking over the investigation. I do have the press release. I will have this attached in this video as well for you guys to read to follow up. BCA is now taking lead on this. He did mention that the ending part of the incident is caught on dash cam. Also, they are going to release that as soon as the BCA is allowing them to release that incident. Last we know is the man is in stable condition from the shooting. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please stay tuned for the rest of the press conference. Jason with Minnesota News Now out.
One David 14. 2 King 22.
One David 14. 2 King 22.
123 Eagle Circle. Caller advised their 26-year-old son who has mental health issues is en route to the location. He carries a gun in his waistband. He's not supposed to be at the house.
Copy.
1629. 21 for that. 2 King 21, 1629.
2 King 23, I'm clear and I can back as well.
2 King 23, 1629.
4 King 05 also. Did the caller see the gun, or he is known to carry a gun?
I'll check with the call taker, 1629. 4 King 05, the caller did see the gun today.
Copy.
1630.
4 King 05, I have a male walking 122nd Hanson north on the way for more cars before I get closer.
4 King 05, 1633.
2 King 22 to the area where 05 at?
Forever 24, 1634. 2 King 22, he is watching the mail on Hanson, northbound from 122nd.
2 King 23, I'm with
2 King 23, 1635.
4 King 05, if you could give us the channel for right now until we get him detained.
4 King 05, 1635. Channel 7 is reserved for Coon Rapids. All other traffic moved to Attack 1, 1635.
I lost sight of him at that curve up here in the roadway.
Green Hills on the back patio with a lighter and a fire.
Yeah, it does. We got footprints leading to the back of the house. We're going to see if we can get a phone number and try calling him out.
2 King 23, I'm going to call out to the male. He's outside right now smoking. 2 King 23, 2 King 23, less lethal's been fired.
2 King 23, copy, less lethal been fired, 1640.
2 King 23 still has a gun in his hand.
2 King 23, male has a gun in his hand, 1641.
4 King 05, we're trying to negotiate with the male. He's out back, gun in his hands, refusing commands. We get some more cars. 1 King 12 en route. 2 S24 cars clear. You can also clear the Pinnacle.
2 24, 1641.
4 David 12, also
1 King 12, copy en route. 4 King 05, copy the males refusing commands, 1641. 4 David 12, Harry Neal, 1641.
He's been hit with 5.
Are they in your squad?
Yep, they're in the drawers.
Copy. 1 King 10, I'm also en route. And I'll have less people as well.
1 King 10, 1642.
King 21, if mom's in the house, can we get her out of the front?
Get another driving car come to the north side.
Primary 21 about.
4 King 05, copy another car to the north side, 1643.
4 King 05, just confirming we have ambulance standing by.
4 King 05, 10-4, they are standing by.
1 King 10 arriving.
1 King 10, 1644.
12 King traffic.
King 12, 1644.
10, when you get here, if you can get your beanbag gun, come to the north side and maybe we can get them that way.
2 King 23, do we have someone speaking with the father?
Negative, we're not on the phone with anyone.
Can you try calling him? We need an officer to meet with him and speak, please.
Copy, 1645.
40, the 12 Coon Rapids cars. So I'll be getting off Manhattan here shortly, and I have a 40 millimeter if you'd like me to bring that up.
Yes, please. We got 2 beanbag shotguns.
2 King 23, going off the front.
2 King 23, copy, going off the front, 1646.
Guns in his right hand, pulling up his pants, going towards the north.
Copy, gun in the right hand, going towards the north, 1646.
2 King 23, still walking north.
2 King 23, still walking north, 1646.
We need a squad to get north of us at Maine.
Copy, new squad north at Main, 1646.
King 12 is walking back to the west.
Walking back to the west, 1647.
We're still northbound.
Northbound.
Male is refusing command. Still walking northbound.
Still walking northbound, refusing command, 1647.
King 12, can we get a car at Main Street to cut him off? You can go 4 up there.
Adam 20.
Male is walking eastbound towards Drake.
Eastbound for Drake, 1647.
1 King 12, can we get a unit on it? 123rd and Drake.
Copy, need someone at 123rd and Drake, 1648.
Southbound on Drake.
Southbound Drake.
1 King 12, they're going to kill him.
1 King 12, copy, 1648.
Less lethal deployed.
Less lethal deployed, 1649.
We need to use the squad. Use the squad.
Kilo 4 coming north on Drake.
Kilo 4, you're coming north on Drake, 1650.
David 18, can you send me the Coon Rapids call?
Over back, let's count.
That would be the 17.
Steve, use the squad. Deploy the gun at the squad.
Information for King Cars. We're speaking with the dad.
King, always put your gun, shots fired. Fire.
Copy, shots fired, 1650. And per the RPs,
Suspect down.
suspect down, 1650.
David 18, send me the Coon Rapids call.
David 18, 1650.
16 also.
David 16, 1651.
You have a lineup?
King 12, the male has still not dropped the gun.
King 12, copy. Alina in the area, and copy male still has not dropped the gun, 1651.
King 12, copy.
And we spoke to the father, and he advised it's possibly a pellet gun,
Copy.
1651.
Adam 20. Sorry, I'm in the area. I've got a 40. Where are you at that exactly?
Copy, gun still in hand, 1651.
Still got the gun pointed towards officers underneath his stomach.
Still got the gun pointing towards officer, 1653.
Cars watch crossfire.
Copy, watch crossfire, 1653.
Ambulance to rescue immediately to 123rd Eagle.
12340 Eagle.
To Drake Street, 123rd Drake.
Copy, 123rd and Drake, rescue immediately, 1653.
King 12, Carolina.
King 12, 1653.
Thanks everyone. My name is Brad Wise. I'm the police chief for the city of Coon Rapids. I'd like to provide you some information regarding an incident we had in an officer-involved shooting in our city. At 4:23 p.m. this afternoon, a relative called 911 reporting a 26-year-old male was having mental health issues and was walking down Hanson Boulevard in Coon Rapids en route to an address on the 12300 block of Eagle Circle, and that the male had a handgun in his waistband. The officers were told via dispatch that someone was at that destination address and that their safety was potentially in jeopardy. At approximately 4:33 p.m., uniformed officers encountered the male outside of that destination residence and found him holding a handgun, and he was in distress. He refused to disarm despite negotiations. Officers then chose to deploy a less lethal, what we refer to as a less lethal beanbag shotgun at about 4:43 p.m. The male was struck several times without effect. The man then headed from that destination through a narrow wooded area toward another residential street. As officers were attempting a walking intervention as he moved, officers re-encountered him from the opposite direction once he arrived on the street area in a separate townhouse neighborhood. They again deployed the beanbag shotgun without effect. At 4:50 p.m., two officers were forced to fire their service weapons. The man went down. Officers moved in and separated the male from the handgun. Immediate life-saving efforts were begun. He was subsequently transported to Mercy Hospital. I understand his condition was stabilized and that he was later transported to Hennepin County Medical Center. I want to say a couple things about this circumstance. Our sincere hope is that this man experiencing a mental health crisis recovers. Clearly he was in distress. Clearly it's a really unfortunate situation. I want all citizens to know that our officers respect the sanctity of life. They were desperate to try to avoid this particular encounter. They were desperate for the use of less lethal options, but in this neighborhood they found they had run out of options and unfortunately were forced to confront him using firearms. The incident was captured on video, and that'll be part of the investigation and will be released according to the BCA's procedures. You should know the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is the lead investigating agency, and they will be the agency that would provide further updates to include both the names of the victim and the names of the involved officers. So I might have a shot at a few other questions if you want to try me. I don't have a lot of information beyond that.
It's been described, was he suicidal?
Yeah, he was described as suicidal, yes.
You said described by the caller as suicidal?
Yes, described by the initial caller as suicidal, yes.
So they've been with him for several minutes. What changed at that moment where officers decided that they needed to use their firearms?
Well, it's hard for me to speak about what they were perceiving at the time. I do know from what was aired over the radio that he was moving into a separate residential area, and that he was walking with the handgun in his right hand as he was walking. So I know it was present, I know it was visible. The officers talked about it repeatedly over the air, and that he was in a place where there were just other people that would be present.
What was the distance? So he left a residence on his way to another residence. Was that a matter of about 200 feet or a couple of blocks? What was the distance?
His original destination address to where the final confrontation took place was probably a block. But it went from one neighborhood through a small wooded area into another neighborhood, and it's a grand total of a block.
Chief, at any point did he point the weapon in question at our officers?
When I'm given a news conference 3 hours after it happens, I don't have that level of detail, but I do know that was captured on video, and that will be part of the information that will be released later.
Was that video a squad car camera?
Yes, it was. The final confrontation was 12 feet away from a squad car, from the front view of the squad car video.
And do your officers wear cameras?
Our officers do not wear body cams, but other assisting officers do have body cams, and some of the other periphery incidents will be captured on body cam. But I'm not certain what's on those videos, but I do know where the squad camera was and that it was pointed.
Chief, for folks who are not familiar with beanbag rounds, just can you describe what that is and how big, an object we're talking about here?
Yeah, there's the firearm itself is a specialized shotgun that shoots a beanbag, sort of like a sock round. And it sort of feels like a punch, like getting punched. And so the idea is either to shoot the weapon out of his hand or to shoot him in, like, say, the abdomen where he might go down on the ground. But it's an option that is sort of that middle ground when we're trying to avoid using that deadly force.
So your officers were, in essence, trying to subdue the subject here.
Yes, all of their conversation, or I should say much of their conversation over the air, was to try to get a less lethal shotgun in position to try to disarm him, because he was not following, he wasn't engaging with the officer in a meaningful way to disarm.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
Yeah, Chief, the information here says he was taken to the hospital and stable. We're hearing reports in the newsroom that he might have died. Do you have the very latest on his condition?
I do not know that. The last I heard that he was stabilized at Mercy and then was transported to HCMC, so I haven't heard.
Thank you.
Do you know, or can you say where he was shot?
I don't know where he was shot, no.
Okay.
The use of the beanbag, was that because the use of the beanbag, you didn't use the taser, and was it a distance issue?
Again, this is me speculating because I wasn't there, but I'll say this: tasers have limited effect in wintertime with coats, and they have limited effect for distance, and he was clearly armed with a firearm that was in his right hand. So I would suggest that it would have been a poor choice to use that unless somebody was able to sneak up from behind or something like that. But I can't speak to the specifics of this incident, but all the officers we have carry tasers, and I'm sure they considered it.
Chief, I know you might not have the answer to this, but when was the last time an incident like this happened?
An officer-involved shooting, we had one in 2018.
There was a car in the lot there that looked like it was in a collision, just sitting in the middle of that parking lot. Was that involved with this at all?
No, that was, I think what you're referring to is there was some other equipment that was stacked up next to a car.
Oh,
because I saw what you were referring to.
Chevy Impala?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and it was just.
I thought it was a smash front end.
No.
Okay.
No.
It was a riot shield, or not a riot shield, but it was a shield of some sort,
I
correct?
believe that was what it was. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe that's what it was.
You told me earlier when we talked, there's probably about 15 officers on scene when the shooting took place. Is that still jive with what you're hearing?
Yeah. as you can imagine, this whole incident lasted about 20 minutes. So other officers from surrounding agencies were arriving in support. And I'll just tell you, the way officers talk to each other on the radio, there was chatter on the radio about using tear gas and all sorts of, they're weighing all these options. Because it's just, I really want to highlight the point to people that the officers really are desperate to try to avoid using a firearm in a circumstance like this. If there was some way to have achieved a safe result without using a firearm, I guarantee you they would have done it. They were willing to do about anything. It's hard on cops.
Do you have the time from the initial contact with the officers to when they fired?
Yeah, so the call time was 4:23. The first uniform officer had a conversation with at 4:33, and the shot was fired at 4:50.
Yeah, good.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you very much.